Hello, myRockworld. Today we are in Berlin and have an exclusive interview with the Rival Sons. And with me is the founder, one of the founders of the Rival Sons, Michael Miley, and the new bass player, Dave Best. So welcome, guys.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
This is a very special concert tonight because it's the release concert of the new album, which comes out tonight, or let's say it comes out tomorrow in the shops. And the new album is called Great Western Valkyrie. It's your fourth album. Please tell us about something about making of the songs, about the recording, and what is different to your last album, Head Down, from 2012.
I'd say first off, one of the main differences is that we have a new bass player in Dave Bestie. It's a lot of we use the same recording technique of going in limited amount of time with no songs, and so we create on the spot. We create just to keep a raw kind of how do you say, urgent energy to the writing, and the spirit of the music ends up being very pure and honest, and instead of overthinking it and putting stuff into overproduction and too many computer plugins and stuff, we go analog to tape, and we do it the old-fashioned way.
And was it in that process that you had the songs already written and then rehearsed and go in the studio and play it live, or was it you created the songs in the studio?
No, we go in with no songs, and we create on the spot.
Okay.
To keep an open, an honest, urgent, raw spirit in the music.
And Dave, you're the new bass player.
Yeah.
Were you involved in the whole making of the record already?
Yep. I came in and experienced their process that they had done in the past for the first time, which was interesting because it's really, like he said, it's designed to force you into being creative. And so it was fun. It was fun just to kind of be, okay, we're going in, we're in the studio, what are we going to do? It starts with a beat, or it starts with a riff, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I was definitely a part of that.
So let's speak about the new album. How many songs are on the album, and how would you describe the sound of the band? What kind of music is it? Because I read in an article which I loved, there was a sentence: "It is Chuck Berry like on acid." I think it's a little bit more than just Chuck Berry like on acid.
Scott said that about on our last album. I always call it maximum R&B. I really feel we're rhythm and blues based. Soul music is where we all meet in the middle. We are rival sons in that we all love different music, and but where we meet in the middle is soul music, R&B, Motown, the blues, gospel. But we do it loud, strong, and with a little bit of confidence, So the Who, when the Who came out, they used to put on their posters maximum R&B. So I stole that moniker.
Very interesting.
From the Who, because I felt it was appropriate for us. So maximum R&B.
Maximum R&B, very good. So because of this is your record release concert tonight at the C Club in Berlin. What can we expect from the show tonight? Any special or any surprises?
Well, we'll be playing quite a bit of the new material.
How many songs?
What is it? 6 or 7 songs, I think. New?
Something like that.
It's a lot.
So it's interesting. Last night we played these songs really for the first time for an audience that doesn't really know the material yet.
Okay.
And I thought the response was really great. But it's interesting. It's an experiment because people don't know these songs, to see sort of their initial reaction to them.
Okay, very good. As you have, or you released a new record, Great Western Valkyrie. How came the name together for Great Western Valkyrie? What does that mean for you?
For me personally, it was one of the lyrics in the song called Bell Star on the album, and we were really digging very deep to find an album title. And
Not just to say
we were going
3 but 4.
back and
Yeah.
forth, and he came up with 25. I came up with 25. I mean, we literally had probably 100 names we went through, because we really wanted the album to have a title that really was appropriate. Obviously, I mean, everybody does. Is this?
It's running.
Okay. We went through a bunch, and I remember suggesting, I think to Jay on the phone, or maybe everybody was present, but I said, Great Western Valkyrie. It's one of the most interesting lyrics on the album to me, and it pops out when you hear it in that song, and I just think it had a majestic, just grandiose quality. And the album, for me, as being my 5th album in the band, I feel like it's our best and it's our most different, and there's a quality to it that is, I think, transcendent. It's beyond all of us in the band. It transcends all of us, and so Great Western Valkyrie. The Valkyrie is a Norse goddess who decides who lives or dies in battle.
Yeah.
And we're all, as men, we're subject to women most of the time.
Hopefully.
And we might be the stronger sex, but women kind of rule the world.
Yeah,
if you think about it. So, and we're from the West. I don't know. I could go on with trying to analyze it, but that's probably the gist.
I think you gave a good answer to that. What are the plans for the whole year as you play now at Rock im Park and Rock am Ring festivals in Germany, which are the biggest festivals in Germany? What plans do you have?
Well, we go from Rock im Park to London, and we play a show in London for the record release in the UK.
Headliner shows.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, and I think we're doing 4 or 5 headlining shows in the UK, as well as the Download Festival in Isle of Wight.
Download an Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Looking forward to those.
Yeah.
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we go back, and then from there we go to the States and start touring the United States and Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
As we now know and welcome you as the new bass player, but what was the reason that the original bass player Robin Everhard has left the band? What was the reason for?
I think he just was over it. He was there's a lot of travel. We work really hard.
Yeah.
And you have to really believe in what you're doing if you're going to work that hard.
Yeah.
So I just felt his heart. I'm not going to speak for him, but it just seemed like his heart wasn't into it anymore. And so it was initially an amicable split. So,
okay.
We respected his decision, and now, I mean, thankfully we a good enough guy came in to replace him. Robin's really good. In my opinion, I thought Robin was a little overqualified for the band. I mean, the guy can arrange symphonies and a 40-piece symphony orchestra. He can arrange all the instruments, transcribe this stuff, and he plays jazz fusion and I think rock and roll is a little dumb.
But there's a friendship with him.
Yeah, there'll always be friendship. I've known him for almost 10 years now, so I used to do TV shows with him and play with this other guy, and we used to we tour together in like 2 other bands, and so I've been playing with him a long time.
Okay.
So,
as we said that the Rival Sons music is described as maximum R&B, what were your heroes starting out to play music?
You want to go first?
No.
My first heroes, I was raised on the Beatles and Steely Dan, and really that's the gist of, and Eric Clapton and Cream, Pink Floyd. My dad was a guitar player, so but he was really into studio musicians, who was playing on what album, and you start seeing that like Jim Keltner played with John Lennon a lot, but he also played with Steely Dan, or you see all these names start appearing, and so I always wanted to be a studio musician, And,
oh, really?
Well, I grew up in the studio session world in LA, where that was like the thing, and now I mean studio gigs don't really exist anymore. But I've always wanted to be in a band, so you know, following in the footsteps of like being in a band, like being like Ringo Starr, Keith Moon, you know.
Understand.
Rather than being some like hired gun, you know.
Yeah. And as a drummer, what are your heroes on the drums?
My favorite music in the world is jazz, so I would start there by saying Elvin Jones, Roy Haynes, Art Blakey, Buddy Rich. My favorite jazz drummer is either Roy Haynes or Tony Williams. I think Tony Williams might be one of the greatest drummers ever lived.
Yeah.
But you know, you get into the Steely Dan world, and you get Steve Gadd is one of my favorites. Rick Marotta, Jeff Porcaro is probably the reason I play drums.
Okay.
I could talk about drummers for hours, so I don't want to.
Me too. So let's stop.
Yeah.
Let's give Dave a chance. What were your heroes to start music?
Yeah, you know, I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in Nebraska, and so early on I was exposed to a lot of Chicago and Texas blues. So that was kind of where I started playing bass, was being exposed to that. And I guess even some California blues, like, you know, Richard Cousins. A lot of people may not know him. He was Robert Cray's bass player.
Yeah.
And he was so great, and he was Tommy Shannon, some of the obvious ones, you know. And then, of course, as I started discovering more music, that list grew, of course, you know.
Okay. Is there something you haven't done yet musically and you think one day I really love to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a million things, actually.
Play Wembley Stadium.
Good answer.
Sold out. Sold out Wembley
So
Stadium.
the band is hot and they want to get on the stages on the
3
on the
nights.
really stadiums.
Sold out Wembley Stadium.
Please tell us a secret about the Rival Sons that nobody knows. A funny tour post secret or something.
Wow.
Yeah, you may have to go back for that.
Scott's mustache is fake.
Good. Tells everything. So at last, please, some words to your fans, please.
Thank you, danke schön, very much for following us and believing in us. Spread the word. If you're on social media, please share it. Listen and share. Share it with your friends and tell them to share it. You know, we need a lot of help. Our music's very unique. We don't fit in a lot of genres. A lot of record companies and people can't get behind something that they're afraid of. So if we can show them big numbers in social media and on the internet, you know, then so we need your help. We need your support. We thank you for all the support thus far. Yeah, danke schön.
Danke schön, vielen Dank, 1000 Dank.
Best love words. So, as we all know, the Rival Sons want to play in Wembley. Let's keep it up and get them to Wembley. Thank you very much. Have a great show tonight.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.